We can all agree that humanity has come a long way over the past few centuries. Some discoveries were made far beyond our little planet. Heck, men have even walked on the moon. But deep space exploration doesn't mean that we're neglecting what's creeping in our own backyard. There are still some areas on Earth that humans have never laid their eyes upon. Fact Feed presents places no human has ever set foot on Earth. Siberian Sakha Republic. There may be human footprints on the moon, but making a single one in the Siberian Sakha Republic is a tall order. This is because this federal subject under Russia is covered in permafrost and has been for many years. What this means is that its ground is frozen solid without much hope of thawing. This particular area is larger than the country of Argentina and is only slightly smaller than India. It also comprises a whopping 1/5 of the total area of Russia itself. This is no mean feat, as Russia is the largest country in the world. Even so, the human population here is only around 1 million. Even this number is only within certain places of Sakha, since the rest is beyond the Arctic Circle. Hence, much of the region is not explored by humans due to the unforgiving temperatures. These could plummet up to -40 degrees Fahrenheit, making human survival very difficult. Sakha is also home to the Verkhoyansk Range, the chilliest place in the whole of the northern hemisphere. It's not even possible to walk through such places, let alone explore them. Vallée do Javari. The Javari Valley is an indigenous territory located in Brazil. It occupies more area than the whole of Austria, but remains untouched by modern civilization. While there are several human beings in the area, they are unaware of the world as it is today. Hence, it's not correct to say that the area is unexplored, but its details are not known to us. The tribes living there are so cut off from modern human civilization that they have probably not even seen a wheel. Needless to say, they are also untouched by the world wars and the Industrial Revolution. Around 3,000 indigenous people are currently living in the Vallée do Javari. Around 2/3 of them are probably unaware of the modern world altogether. We're sure many explorers would have loved to visit this place, but the Brazilian government has banned anyone from entering. They essentially want to preserve the lifestyle of these people, and so only maintain a watch on them from aerial observational methods. The Mariana Trench. This trench is a crescent-like depression that is probably the deepest place we know on Earth. It is underwater, as are many other unexplored areas. The most recent measurement of its depth revealed a result of around 36,070 feet. If we were to place Mount Everest, the highest peak in the world, into its trench, the mountain would be submerged. Its topmost peak would actually be a whole mile below the surface. There have been many speculations on what lives inside this place, but only xenophytophores are confirmed so far. These are mere single-cell entities that use water mineral to build their exoskeleton. This might not sound very interesting. However, the theories of a humongous sea monster living there would surely perk you up. Some people have even theorized that the monsters living in the Mariana Trench would one day rise up and attack us. If and when that day comes, we may have a little fight for our territory with equally huge robots. But for now, this trench is a U.S. national monument. The then U.S. President George W. Bush made it so back in 2009. Gonca Clicham. In English, this name means White Peak of the Three Spiritual Brothers. It is not the highest mountain we know of, but it is the highest that is yet to be climbed. This is not due to its height, which is around 7,500 meters, nor is it due to the rough terrain or climate. No, this mountain in Bhutan is actually sacred to the locals of Bhutan, where it is located. This ban was put into effect in 1994, and mountaineering in this area as a whole was banned in 2003. A great pity, but we have to respect religious sentiments after all. Before the bans, there were a few teams that attempted scaling the mountain in the mid to late 80s. However, the harsh weather did not allow them to have any success. Due to the lack of exploration, it is even a challenge to map this area correctly. There may be different estimates of this range on different maps from country to country. It is unlikely that the religious values of the locals would change anytime soon. Hence, we can forget about exploring this place in the near future. Kamchatka. Once again, we return to Russia. This peninsula has several volcanoes, many of which are in danger of erupting at any moment. At least one of these is constantly active since back in 1996. That's over 2 decades now. With 300 volcanoes, it's a relief that the Russian government has banned entry here for anyone but the military. Since the area itself is an island, it doesn't present much of a threat to the rest of the country. It's almost impossible to tell whether a volcano would or would not erupt in the blink of an eye. No one can guarantee our safety in this place, and it's just as well that we're not allowed to go on adventures here. Sunken Cave. This is known as the largest cave in the world. It can be found in modern-day Vietnam, but is unexplored due to its difficult terrain. The cave itself is quite deep, being large enough to hold a whole skyscraper within it. We're sure many humans would have left no stone unturned in modernizing this place. However, this 5.5-mile-long cave is blocked by a calcite wall. This wall measures a whopping 200 feet. It is thus probably one of the largest natural barriers in the world. This wall was enough to put off several researchers and explorers up until the present age. As yet, it is not possible to go around the wall. Some people may definitely have considered blowing it up, but let's hope it never comes down to that. The cave itself is a wonder of nature, having its personal jungle and river. Another paradise for hermits, we're sure. Star Mountains. The mountains comprise a huge range in Papua New Guinea. Not only is it one of the longest mountain ranges in the world, but it is also one of the wettest areas. The range gets a huge amount of rain. On average, this amount is equivalent to 10,000 millimeters per year. These mountains also have some huge limestone plateaus. Overall then, its local ecosystem is one of a kind. There are several species found here that would probably not even exist in other parts of the world. Just one survey alone was enough to identify over 1,000 species. Of these, at least 100 are not to be found in any other place. The Yucatan Cenotes. Here we have caves again, this time a whole network of them. Cenotes are caves that come into being with the collapse of limestone bedrock. The groundwater is then exposed, making the caves very difficult to access. It is very hard to even make your way into one of the caves, let alone exploring them. Many of them are also underwater in several parts. In Acts, the caves are known for their creepy factor as well. Even fishes are not a regular visit in this particular part of the world. Adding to this creepiness is the fact that the ancient Mayans used these cenotes for some of their rites. More specifically, these were sacrificial rites, which means there may be quite a lot of ghosts haunting the place. This may not stop many modern humans from exploring it, but even if they wish, they are unable to do so. Not only are the places above largely unexplored, they will probably remain that way for a long time. Religious sensitivity is important, and we have enough to do without conquering harsh environments, which makes survival difficult. Some of the above places do seem terribly fascinating though, so we hope for more information on these soon. Daintree National Park. The Daintree National Park is located in far north Queensland in Austria and is completely uninfluenced, and it has a very ancient rainforest. This ecosystem is said to be the oldest one on Earth, with a huge population of plants and animal species found nowhere else in the world, with over thousands of them that exist here, which are over 2,500 years old. Mohua County. Mohua County is regarded to be the last county in China where there is no road leading to this place. This is one of the most clean and unexplored places in the world that has remained untasted by any travelers. There is an overland route which is quite unsafe that goes through parts of the Himalayas which are entirely frozen. To cross over to the Mohua County, one has to pass through a 200-meter suspension bridge. It comprises of a rich and huge variety of plant species. This place is quite beautiful, but still remains a land of mystery as numerous attempts made at making serviceable roads have failed, due to the unique nature of this landscape, prone to avalanches and mudslides.